This has been a fun episode. This has been a good time tonight. Okay.
Don't need nothing but a good time. Hi everyone, welcome back to After Broadway, the podcast where we deep dive into anything and everything musical theater from the comfort of my car. I'm Tara.
I'm Stefania.
And in today's episode, we're talking all about the new Toronto production of Rock of Ages. If you listened to our episode 2 weeks ago, this is kind of like a two-parter because we just had AJ Bardell on, who plays Sherry in Rock of Ages.
We're dedicating the month of March to Rock of Ages in Toronto.
But before we get into Rock of Ages, today is also kind of like a special day. It's March 7th, day of episode record, because we have just received the new Mirvish season. And I feel like last year's Mirvish season wasn't announced until later in the year because COVID was weird again in March in 2022. So now that we're back to like kind of regularly scheduled programming, the announcement has come, and I feel like they've been listening to our episodes because 7 musicals, only musicals.
7, it's a no-play zone. It's a no-play zone.
So I was talking to my mom like right before we started to record. I don't know that this has ever happened before.
Yeah, I don't remember it ever happening. There's usually at least one play. So interestingly, normally the off-Mirvish season is announced at the same time, but it's been delayed by a couple weeks, and I think that's going to be an all-play zone.
Which is fine.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they've realized that their big theaters are best used for bombastic musicals, and their smaller venue, the CAA, sad news about it potentially being torn down, but their smaller venue is better for a more intimate show like a play. So I think this is correct.
I know that the season preview was probably chosen. Actually, I don't know what month that this season was chosen, but I think it is interesting, especially after the success in the summer of Anne Juliet, obviously a huge musical, and then followed, Anne Juliet was like play and like UK Fisherman's Friends, and then like other play. So it kind of lost the momentum into the colder months when it needs to like pick up again.
These are a lot of like mainstays, crowd-pleasing shows. Even the one kind of original thing no one's seen before is a jukebox musical, and they're tapping into the well from the mind of David West Reed, who's the book writer for Anne Juliet, is the book writer for this new Roy Orbison jukebox musical In Dreams. So They're really taking a look at what has worked and bringing it back. They're bringing back multiple things that we've seen in Toronto before, like in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Bringing them back.
So the 7 musicals this season, starting us off, which is actually so thrilling to us because, you know, we are 6 stands.
Original.
But original.
Back to 2019.
Not the UK stands, but like original Broadway stands. Chicago stands. But this is even more thrilling to us because this is a Canadian sit-down. So it is not the touring cast. I think there's 2 or 3 tours going right now. They're the names of the queens, just like Hamilton tours. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how they name their tours. But we are getting a Canadian sit-down. It is going to be in Edmonton at the Citadel, which it already was in Edmonton at the Citadel pre-Broadway. Pre-Chicago, even. And then
no, post-Chicago.
Oh, post-Chicago.
Chicago was first, then Citadel, and then
what am I thinking of that was... Oh, Hadestown was Citadel pre-Broadway, right?
Pre-Broadway in Citadel.
Yeah, so it's going to Edmonton for August, and then I'm assuming like that's where they're going to really like put it together, and then it will be in Toronto in September. Right now scheduled to November, but doing some digging, and also thanks to the Toronto Star really has been giving us like everything these days.
Content.
Nothing is playing in the Royal Alex all season. Princess of Wales is a revolving door this season, and the only scheduled production coming to the Royal Alex is in September of 2024, and that is the return of Come From Away. So, Toronto Star says that depending on ticket demand, 6 will be extended. Imagine 6 in the 6 for a year.
6 in the 6. Wow. Did you just come up with that?
Oh, I just did that right now.
6 in the 6. Okay, Drake. Literally, I'm going to go weekly. I'm going to take a new friend every week. Swear.
I mean, like, we've already been saying for the last however many years that we want everybody to see this, and now that it's in Canadian dollars, let's go.
We love that.
So Six starting off the season in September. Also in September is this new David West Reed musical, In Dreams. Can't be a David Mervish season without a North American premiere, so here we are with this North American premiere. And then following that, let me just pull up the list, is Jagged Little Pill, which... Let's talk about Jagged for a second, because Jagged was announced in Mervish's season last season as not part of the subscription, an added bonus show in July. And then we saw it disappear from the website, and it was never on Jagged's tour site. So now it's coming to Toronto in October, which I think it's a correct move to have it as part of the main season.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be like a 2-week run that was initially announced. But yeah, it was odd that it just disappeared, completely went unacknowledged, and now it's just like, oh, it's so exciting, it's coming. It's like, wasn't it already coming? But okay.
I know. But I hope that they actually, like, capitalize on this, have Alanis come in to do, like, a opening night type thing in Toronto. Like, she's Canadian. This is the first time. Oh, no, it's going to Ottawa this year. Never mind. I kind of take half that back. Because it was supposed to be in Ottawa, and then it was supposed to be in Toronto, and then it disappeared from the lineup. But... problematic, but we love Jagged, so can't wait to see that one again. Then following Jagged is 42nd Street, which I believe has not been in Canada for like 40 years or something like that. So this is a show for the subscribers. This is the Singing in the Rain of the season.
I think it's the same production company as Singing in the Rain, like the same theater company. And, you know, we love a classic UK import. Mervish loves a classic UK import.
If it is the UK tour, then that tour was filmed, and I believe it was like in theaters in the UK, and I've only heard great things about it. So
we love tap dancing. We love tap dancing.
I thought you were going to say we love 42nd Street. We're not sure if we love 42nd Street, because we're not sure that we saw 42nd Street properly.
I can't wait to see it again. I cannot wait to get more context on 42nd Street.
100%. And then following that is the return of Aladdin, which I didn't ask for. You didn't ask for, but here we are.
I didn't ask for it. No. Though it'll be interesting because the last time it was here was the pre-Broadway, and it apparently changed quite a bit when it went to Broadway. So Toronto will finally get to see it in its final form.
I didn't even know that this was touring, but I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. And then following Aladdin is Les Mis, which the last time it was here was when Ramin was in it, right?
2014, something like that, 2013.
So this is like decently recent. Again, this is a show for the subscribers because they live for Les Mis. I'm interested only because, like Phantom, they change the Les Mis tour every 6 months. So I wonder what version we're getting.
I just don't care, to be honest. I've seen it. I've seen it enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we end the season with something that I think has been on like a ballot card of ours for could this be a Mervish production show for the last 2 years, and that's Tina. I'm excited for Tina.
Me too, because all these shows we've listed, besides In Dreams, which is the debut, this is the only one we haven't seen. So yeah, can't wait.
I do think there's been a lot of like Twitter discourse. Obviously, a lot of people seem to be like kind of upset that this is like a lackluster season because we are getting so many like repeats. However, for Six and Jagged alone, I think a lot of people might subscribe. It's going to bring a different audience, which is kind of exciting.
I think Six is the calling card of the season.
Six is the Hamilton of the season.
Six is the Hamilton of the season. And what makes it better than the Hamilton is that it is a Canadian production, a Canadian cast. That really makes it like top notch to me.
And until they announce that cast, Steph and I will be like casting it in our minds for the next like however many months.
That we're thinking back to past guests who could be in the cast of Six.
I will say that at my office today, one of my friends came over and she was like, "Aren't you so excited about Six?" Because she knows that I love Six. And I was like, "Yeah, it's like great that it's coming to Toronto. Like everyone is gonna have such a great time when they see it." And I was telling her about, like, I'm sure so many people that, like, we know are probably going to audition for this. And then she was like, "Could you do it?" I'm like, "Could I do it? Absolutely not. But am I off book? Yes." So she was like, "You could be one of those swings that knows every part." I'm like, wow, I will audition for Universal Swing of Six.
The faith they have in you. The faith they have in you. Which, have we...
We've never done this. I don't think we've ever casted ourselves as queens in Six.
Yeah, I don't know. This is hard. As a white
vocally,
person.
None of them. I can't do any of it. Personality-wise?
Are we limited kind of to like Seymour Howard? Kind of. Just based on...
Kind of. Yeah. Although,
maybe
you're not... I would see you as more of a Howard because Seymour's track is that she can't dance, and you can.
Oh, thank you.
And
I'm giving Britney Spears. I'm giving... You know what?
Yeah.
I'm giving Britney Spears. I'm lip-syncing. I'm giving lip-syncing.
And I would like to think that I, in a different life, would be a good enough singer to be Seymour.
Who do I have most fun being? Probably like Bolin.
Bolin is the track that I like would dream of, but because I feel like it's probably so fun. Yeah.
I'm short enough to be Bolin.
It's probably so fun to just like play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be really exciting. And I do hope that when the cast is announced, we're like, oh my God, it's that person. Like, can't believe that they're doing this. Like, so exciting for them. So we were talking about just before we started recording, like Andrew Macassette, who obviously was in the original cast of Six, is Canadian, but also busy because she's doing Rent this summer at Stratford. So I could see if Six extends, them giving her like a little bit of a run, but I wonder how she feels about this. I wonder if she knew about this.
That's so true. I wonder if she knew.
Yeah. Anyway, very exciting. It's just super exciting that there's 7 musicals coming to Toronto next year. Like, I can't believe.
Absolutely. It's always a fun time at the theater. So, Mirvish, we're happy. You made us happy this year.
And we'll obviously be talking about this all year long, and specifically revisiting this in September when we do our Toronto season preview, because everything else will be coming out, I guess, in the next, like, few months, the rest of the seasons. Okay, let's talk about Rock of Ages. This is a brand new theater company. I don't even know if I can call them a theater company because I think they do like many other things.
More entertainment.
More entertainment. You can go on their website, but there's not a lot of info on the website. And we were lucky enough to go to opening night last week.
Full disclosure, we were gifted these tickets.
Yes, we were. But we will be speaking openly and honestly about our thoughts.
We were, let's bring it up, we were VIPs.
We were VIPs. We were gifted a swag bag when we walked in. So yes, we did get a VIP badge when we walked in. And then Steph was showing the playbill, which is actually quality. It is nice. Quality. And then also in this bag, we ate the smart food. So sorry. Yeah. I ate the like taffy that was in the bag. I ate the taffy as well. So that's not there. The first thing that I'll pull out is the $30 gift certificate to either Smash Kitchen and Bar or Next Door Restaurant in Markham, Whitby, or Unionville. We don't live in any of those locations. No. But that's okay. Thank you to them.
I'm pulling out my Fun Dip, which I haven't eaten yet.
Oh, something that you ate but I didn't and I have it is the Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks. I was hungry.
I think they were going for like retro candy.
It was fun.
And then the biggest, I would say, gift of the night is the Rock of Ages beanie.
The pièce de résistance. This is being gifted to my brother, but...
Did you see... I don't know if you sent it to me, and I don't think I sent it to you, but Elvis Stojka was at Media Night, as we know.
Yeah, we saw him.
He was wearing this in, like, a skating video the other day.
Oh, I didn't. I did see that.
They were, like, training for Stars on Ice, and I think they were dancing to, like, a song from Rock of Ages, and they were wearing the beanies.
That's so funny.
So Rock of Ages is playing at the Elegant Theater, which I realized I had never been in until we were there last week. Stunning. Also, massive.
Really nice. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah. The overhang for the mezzanine is really far forward. So yeah, we were off to the side a bit, kind of like mid-orchestra, like side section. So, but really great seats. I don't think we missed much of anything. Just maybe slightly out to the far sides. Yeah. But no big deal.
Before we get like completely into this production, let's start how we always do. What did you know about Rock of Ages before seeing this?
Okay, so Rock of Ages is a show that I had never seen before. I had technically seen the movie, but I didn't really pay attention when I saw it. But it is the soundtrack, the music, is music I know very, very well, just in general from life. I grew up with, a dad who loved classic rock. So this is the genre played in the car all the time. I kind of knew the story. I kind of knew it was going to happen. I knew the songs. But I did go in somewhat like open because I hadn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm. Whereas I saw Rock of Ages, I guess it was 2010. It came as a national tour with Mirvish. I loved the show when I first saw it. The talent was really good with the cast that was here. A lot of them were Canadian. A couple of them ended up moving to Broadway to replace those roles. And then I feel like I saw the movie in theaters. It came out in 2012, right?
Oh, good question.
I think 2012.
I'm not sure.
Let me quickly IMDb. I also just when I say I rewatched it this weekend, I watched it in parts and I skipped through many things because it's fine. Yes, 2012. So I definitely saw the movie. I saw the movie in theaters, I believe. And then I think I saw it again like a few years later at home. And then both my parents and my brother separately actually saw Rock of Ages in Vegas, which I think is a great venue for this kind of a show. And then we saw it again last week. And again, the songs, great. The selection of music is amazing in this show. For this specific production put on by More Entertainment, mm-hmm. I will not fault them for the book of this musical because the book of this musical is actually trash. Sorry to the person that wrote it, but it's very thin.
It's so bad.
There's nothing there.
I was workshopping what I was going to say about this book, and this book was so thin it was giving me a paper cut. Okay? It really... Nothing. It was nothing. So flimsy.
And it's interesting because, like, rewatching scenes of the movie, they obviously had to add more because there was nothing to work with the Broadway book. Even though, like, this show ran... When did it open on Broadway? 2009, I think?
Yeah.
And then it ran for... Oh, yeah, because it's at Tony's. It ran for 6 years, and then they went on, like, a 10-year reunion tour. So it's not like people weren't seeing it.
Because it's the songs. The book actually doesn't matter. Why didn't they just do a review? Like,
I guess you need like I don't know. I mean, you probably need like a little bit of storyline, but maybe you don't need any storyline at all.
I just think of, a jukebox musical like Jagged Little Pill, right? Where they
gave us too much story.
The book is working so hard. The book is overworking itself. And then Rock of Ages is just like, why bother? Why bother?
And normally I'd be like, oh, the Why Bother is the better show. But in this case, there's nothing like... Act 1, they set us up for this love story. Like, for anyone that hasn't seen Rock of Ages, the general synopsis is that, like, Drew is I don't know, like, wants to be a rock star and works at the Bourbon Room.
Like a waiter,
and Sherry is a struggling actress that ends up moving to Los Angeles, meets Drew at the Bourbon Room. They fall in love. Then they fall out of love, and she ends up in the... like presence of true rock star Stacey Jacks, and everything ensues from there. And I don't really know how we end because I don't know how it ends.
I guess Drew and Sherry get together, but I'm not invested in their relationship in any way. You know, at one point, one of the characters says, "Oh, this is Sherry's guy, Drew," and I'm like, "How do you know that?" They barely interacted.
Whereas I was texting you the other day, in the movie, their relationship is much more established. Which I think is probably important to the storytelling aspect. Whereas in this musical, and I do not remember, like, when I saw it on stage however many years ago, if it was the exact same way. Because they did change, I would say, like, a little bit of the book for this new production. I don't remember if it was so... they barely know each other, and then at the end they're together, because that's what it really felt like in this.
Right. Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah.
It was odd. But that is just, I guess, like, when you want to do Rock of Ages, you're stuck with this book. Like, you take what you get. Mm-hmm. You want to do this song with these classic 80s rock songs that are crowd pleasers that are going to get the audience excited, then you're stuck with this bland, boring, nothing storyline. So, you're just kind of, it is what it is.
So, storyline aside, let's talk about the budget that this show had, because I was shocked.
It did have a lot of budget. The set was great. Okay, let's talk about, you walk into the theater, there's a QR code on the stage.
It's like projected on like one of the set
like a screen.
doors. Yeah.
It was a screen. It was on a screen, right? There are lots of screens. We'll talk about the screens in a second. But yeah, you walk in, huge set, kind of like scaffolding, like three
tiers,
3 or 4 levels, kind of.
And like things kept happening to have shock value on those on that set.
Things were opening, closing from like the middle of the stage, from the sides. It was like great. And there weren't a lot of set changes. There were like things wheeled on and off, or doors open and close to imply different set like spots. Yeah. But for the most part is one, big kind of industrial looking set. So I guess they could spend all their money on like one set and then use it for everything.
The screens cost the money though.
The screens cost a lot of money, and they were like diamond shaped, and then they would go up and down.
Also the like fireworks they use, money.
Yes. Yes, but
thrilling, but expensive.
It was really exciting when the fire went off.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun time. Yeah, a big cast, like a large cast, I feel. Yeah, you could really see the money spent on stage. Costumes, good costumes, like
fine costumes.
For Rock of Ages. They were Rock of Ages costumes.
Wigs. Weak.
Okay,
but hang on. We'll get to that in a second. Go back to the QR code. That's where we started.
Okay, the QR code. We're starting with the QR code. So we're like excited, right? We're like, there's a QR code.
I had also read an article about this the day before of how it's meant to work.
So let me tell you how it works. So we both scanned the QR code with our phones. I saw the app on my phone specifically to show you. It's an app called Appix, Appix. Oh, now it's downloading something. It's updating content. I don't need to update content.
It's actually I'm about to delete you in 5 seconds. Going with the show that's currently on right now.
Maybe. Okay, so it's this app called Appix. You download it through a QR code. And on this app has the program, song list, set list, production photos, an ad for some serum.
I can show you the full ad.
The full size ad for some serum. Okay.
Not sponsored for us, but
so we're thinking we already have our physical programs, but we're thinking we have this app. This app is going to do something during the show.
Well, also, so before the show starts, the lights go down. I believe it's Stacey Jacks that like makes the pre-show announcement of like, hey, everyone turn your phones off, but make sure they're on Bluetooth so that you can receive notifications from the QR code. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is going to do something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did you read an article from J. Kelly Nestruck, who is the theater critic of the Globe and Mail? Did he reach out to the team at Rock of Ages to find out what the app is supposed to do?
Yes.
Do we know what they told him the app was supposed to do?
Yes. So the app is supposed to be interactive. And when I read this, I was like, oh my God, hit list. 2023 hit list. We're about to get text.
I turned my notifications on. I enabled my location settings.
Oh, sorry. To retract, they actually said turn your phone on airplane mode, but make sure to connect to Bluetooth so that it still works. And like, if you are spending the time to make this pre-show announcement, you better make sure that this app is doing exactly what you want it to do. So I believe the app is supposed to be interactive. Now, in terms of interaction, I think it was meant to be based on like songs. So whether it's vibrating, whether there's like a moment, I don't know for a fact because obviously it didn't work, but in my mind, I would think that like maybe there was an opportunity for the screen to like fully light up so you could like wave it like a lighter type thing, like just that sort of interaction level, very basic. And then like again vibrations to go with the songs. My phone did absolutely nothing all night.
No. I had it on airplane mode for Act 1, nothing happened. I took it off airplane mode. I was like, maybe it's blocking something for Act 2, nothing happened. I was just like, I did not need to download this app.
And also, if it's not working the way that it should, I don't think they need the QR codes, because it would be like, Mirvish has an app too, and they've decided to do these digital programs, which I think are great that now companies are doing digital programs, but every Mirvish show, you're not like being asked to scan a QR code. It's just like on the app. So if More Entertainment wanted to create an app for themselves for like future projects, that's a whole different story. But to have a pre-show announcement of like turn your phone off or on airplane mode, but keep Bluetooth on for this app to work, like, don't lie to us.
Okay, so...
Did it finish downloading?
It finished downloading. It says, stay on the screen, another rockin' moment is coming soon. So the show's happening right now as we're recording. So I'm wondering if it's working now, if something's happening right now.
Okay, stay on the app throughout the course
I'm staying on the app. This is going to be a live update. I'm staying on the app.
I unfortunately don't think it's going to work because it did seem to be based on Bluetooth. But if the app works, great. But they should have had it working for opening night when media was there to write about it.
I clicked enter. I don't know what to tell you. I'm staying on the app. This is a live update, live information. And we just trashed the app. It didn't work for us on opening night.
It also didn't work in the preview process. So
maybe we had a setting wrong, but we didn't notice anything else going on around us.
Yeah.
The app was a flop on opening night.
So no hit list yet, but maybe.
No.
Maybe. So that's the first thing. Okay, let's talk about...
Should we talk about the cast? Should we talk about performances?
Let's talk about the cast.
Let's talk about the cast. Let us talk about the cast. Okay, if we're talking about the cast, this is where I think this production truly shined. We always get excited about Canadian cast because we know how much talent is here. Mm-hmm. And this show proved that. Every person came out and started singing, and I was like, slay. And another person came out, slay. Every person
and when they sing as a group?
Slay. Slay all day. No, I turned to you at one point. I'm like, why do they sound so good?
So again, we were there on opening night. The energy in the theater was wild. Like chaos was happening in the theater. The girl next to me, chaos was happening. So I do think we had actually talked to AJ about this in our episode of like how important audience interaction is to this show. And I really think that like, especially like Lonnie, who played Lonnie, what's your name? I know who you are. I see your face in my head right now. Dave Como, like Lonnie is a character that speaks directly to the audience so many times during the show. And I feel like his performance was next level because of the reactions that we were giving.
Yeah, Lonnie is such a fun character. And I think because he's interacting with the audience, he's commenting on what we're seeing. He's like bringing us inside the joke. Mm-hmm. A great character. And like the performance that was given, so good. His singing, so funny, so good. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Yeah, we were talking about this when we were walking out, that we both agreed that the best show that we've seen this year so far is Alice, that we saw with Bad Hats Theater. But in terms of like talent,
I have a pink screen right now.
I can't believe it's working. What song do we think it is right now?
It's 9:09. So is this Act 2?
Yeah.
Or is it Act 1? It's Act 2?
Wait, it started at 8. No, we're still in Act 1.
We're still in Act 1.
Oh wait. Yeah, I'm assuming it started at like 8:08, so it's only been an hour. This could be Here I Go Again. This could be Act 1 finale.
Yeah, this could be Act 1. I can't believe my screen is pink. I can't believe this is working right now.
But again, like, you need to tell people what to do with that, or am I just going to have a pink phone in my lap? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I keep my phone, usually my lap, I keep it face down. Like, I'm not looking at it unless I want to, like, look at the time. Right. Maybe I should have kept the app open. I don't know. Maybe we did it wrong.
We weren't given instructions.
No, not enough instructions.
Anyway, continuing on.
I can't believe.
What were we just talking about? Lonnie.
Oh, it's changing color. It's changing. You can't see it probably, but it's changing color. Purple.
I literally can't believe this is happening right now. I can't believe this is happening.
It's changing color.
I believe it's Here I Go Again on my own.
This is so funny. Purple pink.
Well, we'll actually find out where we are in the show if it goes to like a black screen, because then we know it's intermission.
No, it just says like keep the screen open for it. Maybe it'll tell me if it's intermission. Maybe it'll be like intermission or something. But I watch this space. Watch this space.
Also, so sorry because now we are 100% distracted for the rest of this episode.
I just got this phone.
Anyway,
should I just like have it like here so you can just see what's going on?
Back to the cast. What were we talking about Lonnie? Oh, I know what I was going to say about Lonnie. In the movie, played by Russell Brand. Oh my god, blue. Wait.
It's like rotating. It's like it's blue. It's like a starburst.
We're going to have to turn this off.
No. Okay, I won't bring it up every time. I won't show you every time unless something crazy happens.
Wait, your phone is like going crazy on the microphone right now. Oh my god, for non-YouTube viewers, it's the like rock hands. This is literally definitely the Act 1 finale.
Yes, this is so funny. This is horrible podcasting content, but like...
No, but you know what I will do? I'm saying it on the episode, so when I edit it, I'll know. I will do a montage of the phone screens for Instagram so everyone can see. Anyway, it's like a hand with the like rock symbol, like rocking it. Anyway,
only if something crazy happens will I bring it up again.
That was crazy.
Okay, keep it going.
Back to Lonnie. Played by Russell Brand in the movie, and this character is not a narrator. So that was, I think, to me, like the biggest difference between the movie and the musical is Lonnie, because Lonnie spends half of the show talking to the audience, like breaking the fourth wall. As you said, like having us in on the joke, making the joke of like, this is a musical, this is like whatever. So to not have that in the movie, it's like a completely different character, and I'm not really sure why he's there except to be like Dennis's potential love interest.
Yeah, he's just a worker, like an employee at the Bourbon Room.
Yeah.
Whereas on stage, and I think this is true for the original Broadway production, we see that at their Tony performance where Lonnie kind of like brings us in to the performance, introduces it, like he is bringing the audience into the show and explaining what's going on.
I know what I was talking about. I remember now. Backtrack. We had so many phone screen updates that I completely lost my train of thought, but we're back to it now. We both agreed that the best show that we had seen this year was Bad Hat's production of Alice. But like talent-wise, Rock of Ages has set the bar for talent on a stage. I was literally floored by every vocal performance, and specifically from Trevor Call playing Drew.
Look, Tara, it's an Oscar.
Oh, so I know where we are. No, I know where we are. Wait, sorry, we're back.
Best actor, Rock of Ages, Dennis.
What is going on?
This is Act 2. Oh, that's Act 2.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
I'm beside myself right now. Okay, so yeah, we're in Act 2.
We're in Act 2. Okay. Back to Trevor.
And Dennis did receive an actor on stage, but then so many questions. Are you supposed to hold up your phone with your Oscar too?
Am I supposed to be looking at my phone?
I don't know.
Am I supposed to be looking at my phone during the show?
Well, now that we know that it works, congrats, but also I have many follow-up questions.
Yeah, like, what is the purpose of it? Yeah. Are we supposed to be holding it up? Am I supposed to be looking at it? Is it making noise? Is it vibrating? It's not vibrating. Okay, it's interactive, but I want to be focusing on what's on stage.
Yeah, not what's on the app.
I don't want to be looking at my phone. So this is very interesting.
Okay, we'll be monitoring it until the end of the show. Back to Trevor. Trevor played Drew, and the minute that he opened his mouth to sing, I looked at you and was like, oh my god, vocals. And he kept one-upping himself every single song.
Fantastic. What was the song where he held that note right at the end?
Here I Go Again. No. It was... well, his high note in Here I Go Again was everything. Wasn't it Oh Sherry? I think it's the
It might have been the end of Oh Sherry. Just held it for so long.
He was so good. I don't know if he was great at acting because we couldn't tell by this book.
I don't really think you can tell if anyone is good at acting in these.
Nailed it. I would literally see him do anything again. And Steph, please share your backstory to Trevor.
Let me share my Trevor Cole backstory. So I don't personally know Trevor Cole. However, my best friend, who's appeared on the podcast a couple times, Alessandra, went to high school with Trevor Cole, an art school in Vaughan. He's a grade above me and her, and they did the musical every year at their school. And so I'm pulling out my playbill.
Also, should preface, love you, Alessandra, but not a singer. She's not a singer.
She sounded good in the show.
She's not a Trevor level singer.
No. She's not a Trevor level singer. I don't know if Trevor at that time was a Trevor level singer. No. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is the playbill for the show called Return to the Forbidden Planet. It is a like jukebox Shakespeare. The songs are from the 60s.
On brand for him.
I remember Alessandra sang the song Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love? That was her solo. That was her big solo. She played Trevor's love interest. Trevor is top billed here as Captain Tempest. And Alessandra is down here. Alessandra was actually double cast with our former coworker, Sarah.
Oh, so amazing.
They played the same part, just like on alternate nights. And Trevor was not double cast. He played it every night.
Well, because clearly he's
also
a star.
like in grade 12. He was also in grade 12 that year, blah, blah, blah. So I have seen him on stage before in a high school production, co-starring with my best friend. So when I saw the cast list for this, I was like, oh, I know who Trevor is. Like, great. He's also previously...
Did you think that he would sound like that?
No, I did not think he would sound like this. I did did know he had done the Rock of Ages tour. Not the Rock of Ages. The We Will Rock You tour.
Yeah, he was Galileo.
Exactly. So, which I feel like is in a somewhat similar vocal range.
It's the same.
And a somewhat similar acting range, maybe.
I was
Correct me
saying
if I'm
to
wrong.
you...
I've never seen We Will Rock You.
Yes. Although We Will Rock You... maybe an even more bizarre book than Rock of Ages because it's kind of in like a different world. And the video that I saw on YouTube, I'm pretty sure they did a like We Will Rock You tour performance at Madison Square Garden. Iconic.
Yes, like they have smaller theaters at Madison Square Garden. His bio in the playbill says the specific Madison Square Garden theater.
Well, because like that's iconic. But the costumes that they were wearing were kind of like futuristic. So I think there are different like views of We Will Rock You done all around the world, basically. Yeah. Anyway, I remember saying to you at intermission that like this, for someone that has a voice like Trevor, for someone who has a range similar to him, this is a dream score. This Rock of Ages score. It is a like absolute dream. And when you sound this good, like the entire night, I was like, why is he here? Like he needs to be somewhere else because he is so good. And
so the thing, like looking at his bio, he hasn't worked that much.
Shocking.
And maybe it's just not all in there, but he has not done that much.
I hope that someone sees this and is like, you. And I'm sure that he's having the best time in this show.
Sure.
He is wearing a really bad wig, but other than that, nailing it.
The wig, as I said, is giving Donny Osmond in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
But not the way that it should be giving Donny Osmond in Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the wigs were not good, but we forgive.
Let's move on to Jonathan Cullen as Stacey Jacks. Now, I would like to say that you said to me last week that you think that the Rock of Ages movie is a more sanitized version of Stacey Jacks. I am here to tell you that it's absolutely not.
Oh, really?
I watched this weekend. Tom Cruise models, like, he should have been naked in this movie because he's barely wearing any clothes. Everyone is, like, rubbing up on him. And I actually was, like, looking to see what the rating of this movie was because some of the stuff and his, like, scenes with Malin Ackerman, I'm shocked that, like, you thought that that was a sanitized version of Stacey Jacks.
This is just, maybe it's just, like, my opinion on Tom Cruise's, like, sex appeal, you know? Which is pretty minimal to me.
It was sexy, but they were definitely doing the most.
That's so funny. Wow.
Like, tongues in ear. We got lots of that in the movie.
Good. Amazing. Fantastic.
Yes. But all that to say, this was also a very sexualized performance of Stacey Jacks on stage.
Yes, it very much was. He reminded me of, I was trying to think, like, who does this character remind me of? Do you know in the movie School of Rock?
Yeah.
Where they, like, replace Jack Black in the band with, like, that, like, skinny guy who wears, like, the low leather pants and, like, body rolls. Yes. That's who he reminded me of the whole show.
I would also like to point out that in Jonathan's bio, he played Elder Price in the Book of Mormon, so this is a complete 360.
It is. It's very different. No. But you know what? You know what he was serving as well? Vocals.
When he sang,
I'm a cowboy.
I Want to Know What Love Is. One in Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
And I will say, I know Tom Cruise also extremely auto-tuned, but Tom Cruise also sings Dead or Alive very well. So it's just, but that song I think we've decided is just great all around, no matter who sings it.
Top Bon Jovi.
But yeah, Stacey Jacks had all of the dancers with him. Shout out to KK Lee, who I believe is, she's also the dance captain, but we were watching her all night because she was doing the most. All over Stacey Jacks. The most memorable, and I don't know that I'll ever forget, stage picture of Stacey Jacks and the three dancers creating, I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, this was during
I Want to Know What Love Is.
I Want to Know What Love Is. Yes. Just would you call it an orgy moment?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what you would call it?
He was like rolling on them as they were creating a body that was moving with all of their limbs. Very impressive.
They're like wrapped around and then like walking across the stage.
Yeah.
You can picture that.
Yeah.
This was the moment where I was like, do I need to text my godmother and tell her how raunchy this is? Because I think
there was a lot of touching of everything, everywhere. And
like,
yeah.
I wasn't, it didn't make me uncomfortable.
No.
But I was like, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. But great performance by Jonathan Cohen. Someone else to shout out here. We'll get to like AJ in a second because Tyler Pierce as Franz, who you loved.
He was so funny. He was having such a good time up there. This is like the perfect amount of like a side character comedic relief role. Mm-hmm. You know, you come in every few scenes, you do your little accent, you sing your one song, great. He like ate that role up. He had the perfect amount of stage time. Who I felt was like underused, and I think this is the character, but like Steffi D, underused.
She was great. We saw her in Come From Away, which is obviously like totally different show to this. And she played like the Rogers TV reporter when we saw it. And here she's playing Regina, who is like a protester. She works for the mayor at one point, and then she becomes like a protester, which is like kind of a similar story in the movie. There is no Regina character in the movie. It's kind of replaced by Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's the mayor's wife, and they're protesting against like Stacey Jacks, whereas the storyline of the musical is that they're building condos and
they're tearing down the Bourbon Room. That's giving very Hallmark plot. You know, we're tearing down the institution that you've always loved to replace it with condos, but then in the end we're not. Developers, big bad villain.
But I agree. I wanted to hear her sing more because what we did here was really good. Someone else I wanted to hear sing more was Kent Sheridan as Dennis, because when he sang Can't Fight This Feeling with Lonnie, I was like, oh my god, harmonies here. Like, we are really doing it.
Sounded like every person who sang sounded so good.
I know.
So good.
And then finally, AJ Bridell as Sherry.
Our friend.
It's been a while since we've seen AJ on stage. Obviously, last time we saw her was in Kinky Boots, so it was great to see her back on stage. And she sounded as good as everybody else sounded in the show. 2 highlights for me, Heaven More Than Words with Trevor, and High Enough with Trevor. They sounded so good together.
High Enough.
Yeah. And then another one for me for her was like Heart in My Heart. She just sounded great on it. Yes. It kind of lost the plot for me at that point, but like it was fine.
Like the plot was lost throughout the show many a time, just over and over and over again. I was like, at one point I was trying to make sense. I was like, is he the guy who did this? Was this person in love with this person? And you're like, stop trying to make sense.
There's nothing to make sense of. You just
I'm like, okay, you're absolutely right. The moment where I truly was like, wait, what is going on? It's close to the end, but they're singing Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And a beautiful song by Poison. And they're singing, and then like the projection on the screen,
which a pre-setup, the projections in this show were actually great. And
90% of the time
hate projections. You know why? Someone tweeted about this, and I'm like, you're 100% right, because it emulated a rock concert with like projections of like a concert. So it felt like that until we got to this moment.
Yes. There's actually one other moment earlier. I can't even remember what it was, but there was like kind of something like on stage, and then it on the screen, and then it switched to like MTV. The strip club like logo. Yeah. So it was like something serious, and then it was just like neon butts.
No, it was like, after it was after Every Rose Has Its Thorn. It was right after that.
And then it was just like neon butts, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. No, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. People were saying about their lost loves. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And then you just have like a black and white picture with like rain and rose petals also flying across their faces, and they're looking like forlorn, and I'm like, no. It
was like AJ. It was someone else who you thought was what's her name's lover, but turns out no, it wasn't. No, it just was someone else. And then someone else, and they definitely took this in like a rehearsal room, and it was like the direction was, AJ, look off longingly in the distance and hold this flower. and hold it and hold it. Okay, we're done. And then they kept playing it. And it reminded us of our favorite scene in the Bodyguard the musical.
Anytime a projection puts a photo of someone up, it's giving the Bodyguard.
But now that I'm thinking about the Bodyguard, isn't it projected on like fog? It's not even a screen.
No, I think it was a screen. So from what I understand, from what I remember of The Bodyguard, it's been a while. Mervish, bring that back. I would watch The Bodyguard again.
They're giving us Tina instead because it's the same time type.
Kind of. It's during like I Will Always Love You at the end, right?
Yeah.
So she needs to do a costume change.
And it's during the like instrumental section of I Will Always Love You. The like saxophone.
She's in like casual clothes and she needs to come out in an evening gown. So she's like back doing costume changes. Like I think the scrim is down. And they're just like projecting, but it's hazy. It's very hazy. It's not like I think the scrim is down.
It's giving like Disney World ride. It's giving Pirates of the Caribbean, but worse. When they have like the fog coming down, they're projecting like what's his name, the octopus guy, like on the screen. Davy Jones?
Davy Jones, maybe?
Yeah, it's that. But, and yeah, exactly. Anytime that we see a horrible projection with, like, a cast member in it, the only thing we think about is The Bodyguard.
But for the most part, I agree that the screen work was very good because it was kind of abstract. What frustrates me mostly about screen work, and I think you'd say the same, is when they're so literal with it. It's like, oh, I'm going to the library, here's a picture of a library. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. We as an audience can take a mental leap to understand you're in a library. You don't need to project a picture of a library. You can create a mood. You can do lighting with the screens. You can kind of show us something interesting. At one point they had MTV clips up there. I was like, this is fun. This is smart. But when you're being so literal, when you're showing like a picture of someone up there, that's when you lose me with a screen.
And also like the picture of Honest Ed's and the CN Tower. And
yes. There was a few like Toronto in-jokes.
Oh my God.
Show.
The mayor jokes?
A lot of John Tory.
The John Tory joke, we won't spoil, but like, wow, did that get the laugh of the night. What's happening?
Our flashlights are on. The lighter. It's a lighter. Our flashlights are on.
You know what this is? It's Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Every rose. I can't believe.
Everything I said about the app? No, I can't take it back because it didn't work for us. No, it didn't work for us. It didn't work for us. I can't take it back.
The thing is, yes.
It's flashing.
It's flashing. It's flashing. There's a choreography.
Okay, but again, my main question...
Flickering like a lighter. It's gone now.
Are they saying...
Yes, it needs to be
at the beginning, like, hold up your
clearly.
phones when it asks... I really need to talk to someone that is there in the next however many weeks, months to get the full instructions.
It needs to be
now I'm
invested. It needs to be communicated more clearly. Because they told us to download the app. They said, you're going to miss out if you don't have the app. But at the same time, everyone has their phones down. My phone is in my lap. I would have noticed if my light had gone on.
Oh, if your flashlight went on, you would know. Yeah.
I would have noticed. But maybe, I don't know if I had the app open or not. I think I was expecting it to vibrate. Yes, so this is using data or Wi-Fi right now. It's not using Bluetooth location services.
Maybe we should be telling them what to do so that they have the app working.
We need to communicate. I might be the only person who's ever seen these graphics.
Well, me too. And you know what? Everyone that watches this podcast will also see the graphics.
No, like, I think it's a good concept. I wouldn't say it's for every show, but for a show like Rock of Ages, I think this is, like, a good idea. The lighter, that's what I was expecting. The lighter moment. But
although, as we were talking about literal projections, someone holding a lighter is a very literal moment.
It was a Bic lighter, it had the logo. That was pretty literal. But I think that's more like signifying to you, pretend this is a lighter. We're doing this. We're doing this.
Love it.
Yes.
I actually now wish that it was more interactive when we were there.
Yeah, I wish it worked. I really wish it worked. Because that would have been fun, a different experience.
Anyway. Any other highlights for you?
Any other highlights? I don't know. To me, honestly, my favorite part, as soon as it started, you're going to laugh at me, but I got emotional as soon as the show started. No, I saw you crying. I knew. You saw me crying. It was like from the top, from the jump. Because I was like, when was the last time we got something this like big in a theater? You know what I mean? Like this bombastic in the theater.
Here? I don't know that we have.
I don't know.
Not in a long time.
And I was just like excited by that. It just got me emotional that we were like seeing this like crazy commercial show. And I was like so happy by that. I was like, a theater. I don't know. It got me excited. It got me happy.
And
so
also,
that was
like that opening number, which is "Come on, Feel the Noise," just like Paradise, and Nothing But a Good Time. 3 bangers.
Joy. So much joy.
And the cast was like giving 10,000% that it was just like, oh my God, this is overwhelming in such a great way. Should we talk about the like potential mistake that's in the song list and also wondering if it's a rights issue?
Yes, actually, let's talk about it. So the song list reflects the Broadway set list, right?
Yes.
Which is on the cast recording.
Yes.
However, when it came time for Any Way You Want It, I Want to Rock reprise, they started singing Pour Some Sugar on Me, which is what's in the movie.
No, both songs are in the movie.
Any Way You Want It is in the movie as well?
Yes. So anyway, okay, backstory on this.
You explain.
So in the musical, what's the character? Who's the like mama character name? Justice. So Justice, who owns the strip club, sings Any Way You Want It while the girls are all like dancing around before we get Drew coming in with the like I Want to Rock reprise. Wow, sorry, completely forgot half of the synopsis here where like Drew gets approached to be a pop star and ends up like throwing his rock ways behind. It's much more dramatic in the movie than it is on stage. It's literally a 2-second moment on stage. So he's like being dressed as this new like pop Drew and like fantasizing about singing like I Want to Rock while the strippers are all dancing to like Any Way You Want It. That's what happens in the musical. That's also what happens in the movie. And then in the movie, we get like a side song of Pour Some Sugar sung by Tom Cruise, Stacey Jacks, just like singing. While all of these girls are like throwing themselves at him. So instead, in this version, we get Justice singing Pour Some Sugar, same thing, like interspliced with Drew singing I Want to Rock reprise. And like, not that I don't love Pour Some Sugar, but I love Any Way You Want It. And also like, fix your song list.
Update the program.
There was also like and order issues.
Something was in the wrong order. Something was in the wrong order, but I can't remember exactly right now because I was like watching for it because if you've been to the theater with me, I study this thing. I am always looking at what songs are next.
Yeah.
I want to know what's next. I like to know what the timing's like. I want to know how far we're in. And so I'm studying this thing. So if it is wrong, I'm confused. I am baffled. I am befuddled and I need to know. Yeah, so that was interesting. I was like, oh, is this the licensed version with Pour Some Sugar on Me instead of Any Way You Want It, I Want to Rock?
And I mean, it's also possible that since the movie came out, they like updated the show just to be like there's also a few other songs in the movie that just aren't in the musical because we know this from like Moulin Rouge that movie rights on songs are just different from stage rights. It's not the exact same. So I think that's why you can get away with more in the movie version than you can on stage.
Right. It's a different pay structure.
But I know that it existed in the original, so I don't know why it was taken out.
Yeah, and it's odd that is Any Way You Want It expensive? Like they already have a Journey song in here. So Journey would agree to it. So I'm just confused, I guess.
And then it also made you think of the Glee version of Any Way You Want It.
Yes, I did. I did send you a screenshot of me listening to Any Way You Want It, Love and Touch and Squeezing mashup from Glee.
Was it regionals? Nationals? Something.
It was like the season 1 finale. So whatever that was.
Oh. When they're wearing like the black outfits with the red?
With the gold? No, isn't it the gold?
Oh, the gold. That's literally...
The gold.
That's when they sing, what's that other Journey song? Faithfully.
Like Leah and Corey just singing Faithfully.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
And then we go into Any Way You Want It, Loving Touching Squeezing mashup. And then Don't Stop Believing.
Which, let's talk about Don't Stop Believing in this production. I and you wanted them to ask us to get up because like we all wanted to get up, but we just didn't because it wasn't like we weren't asked to.
Toronto theater audiences are so polite for the most part.
Sometimes.
There are issues. Let's talk about the man whose Star Wars ringtone went off for like a full minute during this show. Remember that?
Also, sorry, if we're going to talk about etiquette for 1 second, the 2 women that were sitting in front of you walked in late and then began texting for the first like 10 minutes, to which the man beside them, I heard him like under his breath be like, should I say something? Should I say something? And then it was like 5 or 6 times. And he was like, excuse me, like, it's just disrespectful. And the woman was like, I'm talking to my kids. Then don't be here.
Go outside.
Go somewhere else.
I didn't even notice this
and then I heard them like talk at intermission to be like, I'm so sorry. I was just like checking up on blah blah blah. So like apologies were said, but also like just be a good theater
They
guest.
didn't return after intermission, right?
No, there were 2 other people that didn't return. Like 2 people in front of
Oh,
those
different people.
Yeah.
Okay, different people didn't return.
Yeah.
Yes. So etiquette. But
And also, and sorry, just to interrupt you for a second, but like going forward with this show, I think etiquette is kind of like, it's iffy. We've talked about jukebox musicals in the past. I will say our audience was very good about not singing along. The only time when I heard people kind of like open their mouths was randomly during Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And then obviously like for the ending of Don't Stop Believing. But other than that, people were pretty silent. I don't know about like the other sections, but in our section at least.
Okay, this was actually my number one problem with this show. And I think I like briefly talked about it with you, but this is a big house. And so much energy is happening on stage. And then I would look to my left, which is where the orchestra was, and it was just like silence. And like, that is a respectful audience. The audience should not be doing anything else, but it's just kind of like odd to see like people going insane on stage, people wearing no clothes on stage, people like doing back handsprings, people legs in the air, you know.
Fireworks.
Lap dances, like fireworks. Smoke. Was there smoke? There wasn't smoke.
Yeah, there was. The Fogmaster.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then you just look to the audience, and the audience is respectfully watching, which is what they should be doing. But I was like, oh, should this be in like a smaller venue so it feels more intimate, so it feels like there's more interaction?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the audience felt very far away from what was happening on stage. And at a rock concert, you want it to feel very like visceral. You want it to feel like the audience is involved. And I feel like there's something more they could be doing. And I know I'm always one, I'm like, go through the aisles. But I know we're not doing that really with COVID right now, and there weren't like steps up to the stairs, but I was like, this is a show, come into the audience, like bring us into the show.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Don't Stop Believing. Actually, during a song earlier in the show, there were like 4 women in the orchestra.
It was during Oh Sherry, and I swear it was Trevor's mom and like friends.
It must have been. But they got up and started dancing. And I was like, this is fun. Like, this is the kind of show you do that at. But no one else did because everyone else is like, we are at the theater.
Yeah.
We are at the theater.
Yeah.
And there are people behind them just like sitting silently. But then during Don't Stop Believing, they got up again and they kind of started it. And I was like,
but they were too far back. You always need the people in the front to start the stand. Yeah.
I was like, should we be standing? What should we be doing? Because it's Don't Stop Believing. It's the end of the show. We're having a wonderful time. And finally, like, people started standing and we're like, okay, well, let's get up. Like, because we wanted to dance. And if they had at the beginning of that song just said a brief thing like, everybody get up. Everyone
not even at the beginning. Even just like during the middle. If Lonnie was like even hand gesturing up to the crowd, or like Lonnie was picking on audience members the entire night. Point to someone, be like, get up. Like someone would have done it.
They needed to just communicate that to us because the audience wants to be respectful to
You know what this kind of reminds me of, to bring it back again to Kinky Boots, but like during Just Be / Raise You Up, no one is standing during Just Be because we're still like kind of in like script mode. Yeah. But during Raise You Up, I swear the queens were like clapping, asking people to dance because I was up. We were up.
Yes, I remember because they need to.
And that's when they kept taking the like promo video and the soundbite of Toronto Loves Kinky Boots was the crowd dancing.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like the audience is waiting for a signal to dance. What I always recommend, no one listens to me, but my recommendation is move the bows earlier. Because, especially Toronto audience, they love to give a standing ovation. And then once people are standing, keep it singing, keep it moving, keep the show going. Yeah. And people are already up, and people will be willing to dance.
Well, but so this way, I would say, like, to compare this to, like, other shows that we've seen recently, and Juliet kind of does this when they do, like... Everyone's kind of standing towards the end of like Can't Stop This Feeling, then they're bowing, but then they sing Roar again, and we're all singing to like, Roar. Excited. Same with like Moulin Rouge, we bow, and then it's the mega mix. Everyone is dancing and standing for the mega mix, and then Six does it the best. Six literally says to you like, everybody get ready to dance, and everybody stands up. But they've already bowed.
This is a very random show that did it so well, I think. But the Book of Mormon. They bow,
for Tomorrow's
and then
Latter
they sing
Day?
Tomorrow's Latter Day again. And you're like, you're up. I really think, like, at the end, especially for something like a jukebox musical, a jukebox musical like this, you need to be dancing at the end.
Well,
and
this
you
high
need to
energy
communicate
of the show.
that.
Yeah.
You need to communicate that to your audience. You can't just expect them to know. Because the audience was, like, ready to go. And they were just waiting for like
you
a
could
sign.
Again, it was an audience full of like media. It was an audience full of like friends and family because it was opening night. If you said 2 words, get up, we would have been up. And we were up, but we were up too late.
We did. But yeah, we were like watching, are other people getting up or what are we doing? We should just start the trend. We should have started the trend.
Well, if we were sitting closer, I would have started the trend.
Yeah. But
like if we were in the like
we started the trend in our area.
Yeah, because everyone behind us was like, oh, they're standing, I guess we have to stand.
They're standing, we have to stand. But yeah.
Another one
like
that
the center was
obviously
already standing at that point.
does it right is like Mamma Mia. They've been doing it right for years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
it's
how
true.
you leave people. That's how you leave people with joy at the end. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you just need to guide the audience along a little bit. We're looking for guidance.
A question for you that I don't think you can answer. I don't think I can answer either. But like, what do you think is the future of more entertainment? And do they have a chance to stand up against superstar company Mirvish?
Well, it looks like they're doing different things. It looks like they're doing productions of shows and not bringing in tours. I mean, this is their first show, so who knows? The other problem is Toronto does not have that many venues.
I know.
Besides, like, Mirvish kind of has the chokehold. They have, like, 3 major venues. Besides the Elgin Winter Garden, which are great venues to use, you kind of just got, like, Meridian Hall, which is kind of not right.
So... yeah, like Lower Ossington closed its doors, so that space doesn't exist anymore. I guess like Crows, but they would never rent out for something like this. And then there's like the
those are much smaller
Ford
venues.
Center. There's also like, I mean, technically, if we're talking like, I'm pretty sure Dan Cap did productions at like Richmond Hill Center for Performing Arts,
or like the Four Seasons. But
Four
that's
Seasons.
That's a really big venue. It's not the right venue. Here's the thing: if you go on Ticketmaster any day, and let's actually just talk about this. If you go on Ticketmaster for any day of the show, any ticket is available to you. It is not sold in at all. It is available.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because those tickets are $140 a seat.
Really expensive. Really, really expensive.
We had a great time at this show, but I will be the first to say I would not spend $140 a ticket to see this show. I like rarely spend that to see a show that I'm like dying to see. So the fact that this is something that like when we heard that it was coming, we're like, this is going to be a great time, etc. Like whatever. I was still not about to spend $140 for sure. We put a cap on our Into the Woods tickets in Buffalo. Like we weren't going to spend that money for like anything. So
we're at O'Sherry, by the way. It says O'Sherry. Does it say O'Sherry?
My God.
Sherry.
Okay, we're almost at the end.
I'm in love. Okay, so
funny.
Just to give you a timestamp for this now. Trevor Cole is belting.
Yeah. And I don't know because it's a new company, obviously, but if they have not sold more than half of the theater for all of these performances, like this is not going to last till May unless like money was paid up front by this company to the Elgin Winter Garden because they have to pay staff, they have to pay ushers, they need to pay lighting, they need to pay like everything. And it's a huge house, which means it's a lot of people that work there that need to be paid. The actors need to be paid. It's just like, I'm wondering where all this money is coming from because there are like next to no ticket sales right now.
I do not think they're going to recoup their investment.
And the other thing that's like really disappointing about that is that everything that we've talked about this entire episode about interaction from an audience, you think you're going to get an audience interaction when half of the theater is empty? It's not going to happen.
No, it's going to be so different.
It's very like disappointing, I would say, for like the actors on stage to perform to like half empty houses. And
especially a show like this.
Yeah, like I don't know what the solution is here. I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to do like a rush or some sort of a discount. Like, where's the 2-for-1s? People will pay for the 2-for-1 tickets.
Yes.
Like the buy one.
There should be a rush. There should be a rush for this.
I've seen ads on Instagram that it's like 20% off, but 20% off of $140 is like still too much. Also, like, hate to say it, but Ticketmaster's fees are like astronomical right now, so it's not even worth it to buy the ticket in advance. I would rather go to the box office to save the service fee.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Which is, it's just unfortunate, and I do think it's stuff like this that will kill like up and coming companies because they just won't be able to survive. And also like, I can't afford this. I don't know who can afford this, and I wouldn't like return to this because I can't afford this.
Yeah, it was kind of a one and done because the tickets are so expensive. I think their goal was to like do their first production in Toronto with a splash, which the production itself is, but there's like more factors to it. We have been getting TikTok ads for a while, so they're funneling their money into there. They've been funneling their money in there. Yeah. I remember I sent you a screenshot being like, what is this? What is going on?
I know. And here we are X number of months later, like, we saw it. Yeah. No, it's true. And I think they're hoping that word of mouth will get it out. And as much as I would love, again, to say, like, go see this show, like, to be upfront about it, it's very expensive. And that's everywhere in the theater. It's not just the orchestra seats. It's everywhere.
I absolutely agree. Now, I'm going to say something that I said the other night when we were seeing Into the Woods. Where did we spend? Like $85 on those to see Into the Woods? US, so.
American.
We
pay cash, so to me it's like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't show up on my credit card statement, so it's irrelevant.
Fake money. Something I was thinking about that night, this is not to tell people to buy tickets, but something I was thinking about, at this point it's like $15, $20 to go to the movies in a movie theater. And for, like, let's say, like, 5 times that price, you're seeing real people in front of you.
Oh, so, of course.
To me, theater is always worth it, but...
I'm never gonna say don't go see a live performance, but also I currently have the Ticketmaster page open, and the last row balcony is $100.
No, that's not right. That's not right. It's just not right.
That's insane. So, yeah, truly my main critique is the ticket prices of this.
Absolutely. Because if it was, like, half this price...
I would tell everyone to see it.
Tell everyone to go. It's a blast. A party, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So,
and also, like, with the whole, keep in mind that the book is, like, actually awful. You're paying for the performances, and that's really it. And the set. Yeah. I paid for the set.
Oh, and it's still Sherry. Sorry.
And we haven't even talked about the lighting, because the lighting was truly also phenomenal.
The lasers.
Phenomenal.
And the band. The band was in the boxes at the orchestra, and the drummer was at the back. And then during Don't Stop Believing, like, the 2 guitarists got to go on stage, and they got to, like, play the solo for everyone. Yeah. It was so much fun. We were at a rock concert. It was a rock concert.
Okay, should we rate it?
I think I'm going to be very generous with this score. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 electric guitars.
Wow. 7 is
That's
pretty generous.
That's pretty generous.
Didn't you give Joseph, like, 5?
Yes, but I had a better time at this than I did at Joseph. I did.
Sorry, Jack.
I really did. Sorry to Jack. Go ahead, Tara. What's your rating?
Okay, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 fishnet stockings.
Yes. I think that's fair as well. I could have given it a 6 as well. But
I also could have gone lower, but we truly had a blast with a capital B. We had so much fun. Now, again, I don't know that we would feel this way if we were in a half-empty audience. We maybe would be, like, holding on for dear life till the show was open, but we had a very enthusiastic audience. The actors on stage were giving 10,000%, and I was eating it up. So, for that, 6 out of 10.
Had the time of my life. So, no complaints. No complaints at all.
Wow, before we move on, I'm going to ask you the same question that we asked AJ. Is there a song that you would add to this score?
Sorry, that's so hard. That is really hard. Oh my goodness.
I also didn't think about it. I actually said something to my mom the other day, but now I can't remember what it was.
That's such a good question.
I have it. I have mine.
That is such a good question. I don't even know if this is the right genre, but, like, maybe, like, something ZZ Top, like Sharp Dressed Man, like Every Girl's Crazy About a Sharp Dress, and I'm picturing, like, Dennis. Or, like, the mayor.
We need a solo for Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing. Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. That's what I would add to this show.
Okay.
What would you add to this show, Tara?
I would add Alone by Heart to this show.
Where is the heart? Right? Where is the heart?
I just picture Sherry, like, up against a wall being like, till now. It'd be so good. And it fits really the vibe good. For sure.
That is the vibe. That really is the vibe. I don't know if I was giving quite the vibe, but that's the vibe.
No, you were. It gave the Dennis vibe, so that's
giving
fine.
Dennis. It's giving Dennis. It's giving, like, gritty. It's giving
one more thing
raw.
I wanted to say before we move on to Obsessions. When watching this movie, I was like, how does the movie end? Because I literally could not remember. It ends with Tom Cruise and his band Arsenal performing at a concert singing Don't Stop Believing, which was written by Drew. Okay. And then he calls out Drew and Sherry to be like, welcoming my friends, like Drew and Sherry, the writer of this song. And then they start to sing. And then Malin Ackerman is, like, pregnant with his baby. And that's how we end Rock of Ages, the movie.
Okay, that's very different from the musical because...
Well, that Malin Ackerman character doesn't exist.
No, but Stacey Jack ends the show, like, going to prison for
In like Uruguay?
No. We're R.I.P. Dennis.
Spoiler.
That's so funny. He's kind of giving Steven Tyler here.
Wait, is it the guy?
Yeah, it's the picture of him. R.I.P. Dennis.
I literally should I re-download this app and watch it tomorrow?
Sure, I just... That was actually really funny when he came out in the angel wings for the finale.
Yeah.
Funny. Everything was funny. Everything was
isn't Stacey Jackson jail in like Uruguay?
He like left the country to go to Uruguay.
Well, he got arrested for sleeping with an underage girl.
Yes, so very different.
And then he sings the final note final part of Don't Stop Believing in a different language. And he's doing like it was so
It's funny. Like caliente. It's in the cast recording. I know. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sing along. It's karaoke. Okay, this is actually very important.
Living in a lonely world. Oh my god.
That's funny. That's karaoke.
Okay, I really feel like do we need to go back?
Oh, we just talked about for 10 minutes how we would not
for
pay
free.
For the show.
Do we need to go? Should we be like, hey, we were at opening night of Rock of Ages, and we have just discovered that your app actually works. We would love to come back and try it out. Oh, why did it stop? Oh, that's why.
So they're kissing.
They're kissing.
Ooh.
Are we just going to stay here till the end of the song? Oh.
A singer in a...
Oh, no, it's in the other language. Stacey Jackson's singing right now.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Stacey Jackson's singing.
I can't believe this is happening. I also can't believe that... Oh.
Ooh.
No, on and on and on and on.
Oh,
strangers.
Waiting up and down the boulevard. I can't believe we're singing along with the show that's happening like an hour away from me right now.
Okay, but the real question is, how many people there are using this right now?
No, this is a good question because everyone, like people, for the most part, are respectful. They put their phones away, put their phones face down, put their phones on silent, put it on airplane. Like, are people karaokeing right now?
I need live footage. I need a live feed.
No, you need to. We need to ask some people. We need to ask some people. Members.
Yeah, we know someone.
Okay.
We know someone that's there tonight, so we will ask, and we will let you all know on not our next episode because that was pre-taped months ago, but on our next episode. Okay.
Okay.
Are we done? Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we're done. I'm watching it though. It's still here.
Okay,
this has been a fun episode. This has been a good time tonight. Okay.
Don't need nothing but a good time. Okay, it's now time for our obsession of the week.
Okay, my obsession is, I'm going to say, a little tangential to musicals, but I always love to talk about storytelling through music, and that is what makes me passionate about musicals. So, I'm watching the Amazon Prime original series, Daisy Jones and the Six.
Wow.
This is storytelling through music, and it is inspired by...
at time of episode release, only the first 3 episodes have...
Exactly. I've only seen the first 3 episodes.
Episode record.
At this time, I've only seen the first 3 episodes. By the time this episode is out, I think the first 8 episodes will be out.
Yeah.
And I think like 2 more to come. Storytelling through music is so important in the show Story Week. It's vibrating. It's vibrating.
I'm upset. I'm actually upset.
No. It didn't vibrate for me the other day, but it's vibrating right now.
Is this the only time that it's vibrated in the... Oh, and the flashlight is on.
Don't stop. Yes, the only time it's vibrated. Believe.
Are the lyrics
I didn't
back?
have it on for Act 1. Hold on. Yes, the lyrics are back.
I'm upset.
This is so funny. I am in shock. I'm in shock right now.
Okay, back to Daisy Jones and the Six.
Daisy Jones and the Six. Yeah, it's about storytelling through music. It's about these performers who use music to say the words that they cannot say in real life, which is what a musical is.
Yeah.
I'm having a wonderful time watching it. It is based on a book, obviously, but I think the performances in it are very good so far. So I think so there's 3 things. The 2 performances at the heart, which are Daisy and Billy, which is Riley Keough and Sam Claflin, they're the ones singing most of the show, and they're kind of having this like, at the time they only met once in the episodes I've seen, but like instant connection, their voices blend so well, and it's so funny because neither of them were really singers before, this show, and they like learned to sing for this, and they both sound fantastic. Side note, Sam Claflin has been doing promo for this show, and he has said he's auditioned for 2 musical movies. He auditioned for Les Mis for Marius. He didn't get it, obviously. And he also auditioned for Cats. He did the dance call for Cats.
To be who?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
Like,
he said after he left.
It's vibrating again. I can hear it.
It's vibrating. I don't know who he's going to play, but... He said he did the dance call.
For the best.
He said he did the dance call. For both. He did the dance call. He said he left. He called his agents and we're like, I don't think I'm going to be a cat. And they're like, no. You always put yourself down. Don't put yourself down. He's like, no, I'm not going to be a cat. It's not going to happen for me. He's like, they're trying to cram years of ballet into 1 minute.
Oh my God, that's so
it was
funny.
Nothing. But I thought that was funny, like a little anecdote. I think they sound both amazing. But I think truly the best performance in the show for me so far is Camila Morone as Camila, who is not singing at all in the show, but she is, I think, the heart of the show and, like, the heart of the band and everything. So I would highly recommend Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm having a great time watching it. It's embodying that, like, 70s rock and roll culture, and it is these 2 people who are saying words that they cannot say out loud through the songs that they write and that they sing together. And that, like, what is that if that is not musical excellence? And my obsession of the week is the song Look at Us Now. It's from the end of episode 3. It's the first time that Daisy and Billy sing together, and their voices just sound
Didn't they release this, like, on vinyl the other day?
Yes. So the full album, so the show is about them recording this album called Aurora, and then going on tour to promote this album, and then the tour kind of ends abruptly, and they, like, don't speak for 20 years, and then this documentary that they're putting together is 20 years later, and you're seeing them in their, like, 40s talking back on this album that they put together. So yes, they released a full album, and they released it on vinyl as well, so there's, like, all this synergy.
Amazing.
But yes, the song,
they've also, now, talking about promo and
gorgeous.
Marketing, they've done a good job too.
They've done a fantastic job. Yes, like a really great job at marketing, because they've made people excited about this band, not just about the show, but about this band. And I think that's like the most exciting part. I think it's over. We're back to this main screen.
Wow.
The show's over.
What a journey we've been on with this.
What a journey. What a journey. That's wild that it just vibrated in my lap for the past like 5 minutes. So we wouldn't pick it up on the mic. Yes, I think the marketing for that has been really great. That's a really good point. Like, a lot of shows should take note of the marketing, and not every show has like a built-in band like this, but
yeah,
some do. And for them to release this album to make you excited about the band itself, like Daisy Jones and the Six, it's like this band that you've been excited to hear. They're real, and they have an album. They're at the top of the charts. People are like, are you going on tour? Are you going to perform on SNL? Like, let's go. So yeah, great marketing. The music is like pretty good. It has like Almost Famous energy, this show.
Okay, like the movie, not the musical.
The movie. I don't know about the musical, but it has the movie Almost Famous energy for sure. So highly recommend. Tara, what is your obsession this week?
Okay, I had a different obsession, and then I saw something yesterday and was like, I gotta talk about this because it's very recent. So currently in LA, there is a production of The Secret Garden happening, and I have only listened to like bits and pieces of The Secret Garden over the years. I know that everyone's been talking about this for literally years, because I think the last time it was on Broadway was 1991. So everyone's been talking about a revival at some point, because there's been like a million concert versions. But yesterday on Instagram, the Secret Garden page, and it's also on YouTube, released Julia Lester singing a snippet of the song Hold On. And we know Julia is a great singer. We first heard her singing on High School Musical, the musical, the series. You got to see her in Into the Woods. She sounds great on that cast recording. But I think that she, in the last year, has like grown so much vocally, and she sounds phenomenal on this song. And it made me really excited about her like future career in theater, because we always talk about people that like the Broadway babies that all left to do TV. And I feel like she's kind of doing the opposite of like started on such an insanely huge franchise like High School Musical, and now has ended up on stage and is killing it on stage too. And I can't wait for her stage career, because I think it's going to be long, and she's very talented. And the fact that she can do both and handle both of them, I guess, at the same time, because High School Musical has been shooting off and on for the last, like, few months.
Wow.
So I think it's, like, really exciting for someone to leave the TV scene to come back to stage, and also could go back at any time. I mean, we haven't seen her do anything super serious in TV. She's on a musical TV show that's made for teens and us, but she's a great singer, and to do, like, a serious role, like, in The Secret Garden, and I mean, like, Into the Woods is a prestigious show, so she's really, like, booking
Absolutely.
like good gigs here,
choosing good projects to you know, make her theatrical debut, her New York debut.
And every
So,
comment
that's
is
great.
like, wow, can't believe how much she's grown vocally in the last year. So it's just, like, exciting to see, like, young talent on stage. Another person who I think is kind of doing the same thing is Gaten. Like, he started on stage as a kid, then he obviously found success with Stranger Things, and is now potentially going to be nominated for a Tony Award, like, for his performance in Sweeney Todd. So it's just, like, really exciting to see these, like, young people choosing, as you said, like, exciting, worthy projects, not just, like, random things for the sake of choosing random things. I always confuse this with Grey Gardens, and it's definitely not the same show.
I know. I know. I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
So that's our obsession of the week. That's also our thoughts on Rock of Ages. That's also the update on the Rock of Ages app. It's clearly working. Maybe turn your data on if you're thinking of going to a performance in the next couple of months.
It's working, but is it effective?
I don't know.
Is it working?
I know.
We need to know.
Yeah. So Rock of Ages is on stage at the Elgin Theater. At time of episode record, it is on till May 20th. We cannot guarantee that it will be on until May 20th. So if you are a fan of the music, if you are a fan of this show, definitely check it out. It's a blast. So you'll probably have a great time, as we did. And you can listen to all of our other podcast episodes by subscribing to our podcast wherever you listen to them. And we also upload on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe there and leave us a comment.
And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Off2BOA Podcast with the number 2, and let us know if you get down to Rock of Ages at the Elgin Theater here in Toronto.
And if the app works for you.
Yeah, we need to know more about the app. We need app updates.
Yes. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.